Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob from Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a very special review about a very special knife, something that's, well, been a grail knife for me. And it's in my collection now, and I've had a chance to have this for a while and carry it, and I've very much enjoyed this. This is the Koenig Mini Arius, and it's a very cool little knife. Definitely a flipper. Hollow grind, beautiful M390 blade steel on this particular knife. It is M390, beautiful swedge on top. Love that distinctive shape. The action is just ridiculous. And that fuller here works really, works really, really nicely. And the cutaway, the action to drop on this thing is just beautiful, right? So let's talk about this. So the knife name is the Mini Arius, the Koenig Knives Mini Arius, and the knife manufacturer is Koenig Knives. It's made in the USA, so this is all handcrafted, highly well done in the USA. Beautiful, beautiful knife. The designer is, I believe, Koenig. I forget his name, but that is the name of the company who designed it, and that is his knife. I wish I could tell you more. Don't know the guy. I don't know enough about him. I just know that I like this, and I know it's a single guy who designed it. I may have his name completely wrong, so feel free to correct me down below. You know, I got this knife, and it was my first experience with it, and I'm not a super uber fan of Koenig, but I love this design, and I think it's beautiful, and I very much enjoy the knife. But some people are super huge fans, right? Like some people are fans of other designers, and they know everything about them. I don't know much about this. When I do go to their website, it seems to be very limited in the information. I wish there was more there. So that could be part of it, right? I try to glean off some of that information from there. All right, let's talk about the materials. This is a titanium scale, beautiful scaled right here, both sides. It is anodized, this bronze anodization that's on the pivot. It's a captive pivot, anodized lanyard hole here in the back, which looks part of the aesthetic, fits in really well. You do have a pocket carry clip. It does stick out a little bit. It's not super fully hidden, but it is relatively deep pocket carry clip. Beautiful contoured all sides all the way around. Very nice material. There's no sharp edges anywhere. The flipper is very functional. Beautiful. You can almost see, I don't know if you can see this, there's some micro milling on here. Let's see if we can get that in there. Yeah, you can see some of that micro milling on there, and then you can see the beautiful anodization that occurs on the pivot, and the captive pivot, right? And then you can even see some of that micro milling on this backspacer. It's sort of a backspacer. I guess it's a backspacer, yeah. It's not a standoff, but it's a backspacer for sure. And this is the middle deep pocket carry clip that works really well in and out of the pocket, by the way. And then you do have this lock bar. It's not super sharp, it's not all cutty. I like this. It's done really closely, nice and high, so that's wonderful. All right, so let's get back and zoom out a little bit here. All right, so it is anodized on those screws in the pivot. M390 blade steel, you can actually see that right there, M390. And when I got the COA, the certificate of authenticity, it did say it was heat treated to 62, which I thought was pretty stinking cool. That reminds me a lot of my Trevor Berger custom Urban XL. That was also heat treated as well, really nicely at M390. So it's a little higher heat treat, which is definitely probably takes a little bit extra work, but I can tell you, boy, does it retain an edge, and it's really nice. Beautifully centered, as you can see, dead nut centered. No pivot play in there, locked really well. No pivot lash. Nice click on the detent. Let's listen. Nice click. Let's do it again. Nice clicky, no detent lash, it's in there pretty well. The fuller here works really nicely. So it's a thumb hole fuller. I call it more of a fuller because thumb hole, you can't really get your whole thumb in there. You use the side of it, works really well. Now it opens both sides. You can actually even do a slow roll on this thing, right? So that works really nicely. The flipper works beautifully, and it does deploy really nicely. You can do the light switch or the push button. I do kind of a little combination of the two. It does have a little cutout back here, so when you do push that down, it does kind of give you a nice strong deployment actuation of the blade. It does have a swedge on top. So all that works really well. Cutout here is really wonderful. Nice, ample, generous. You can get to the lock bar. So there's a lock bar over travel stop right there, as you can see. So there's a steel bar insert, and then it does engage the tang of the blade at a good 40% right there, as you can see that. So that's really nice, good for get in there. So there is there's a little ramp on that ball, but you clear it when you're about this high. So that's all you've got to do. Just once you clear that, you're good to go. So you're more than cleared once the flipper tab grabs your hand right there. So that's really nice. Yeah, now there are some flipper deletes that they have, and that would catch your finger right there. But to me, I like the flipper. I don't need the liner delete. To me, I rather enjoy having the flipper on both sides. Now, some people may not. Now, it does fit my hand really well. I've got large hands, so you can see I can get all the way to the edge. It's not over the edge, but it's all the way out there. Now, could you choke up a little bit? You sort of could. Maybe more for a pinch grip, you could do that. You would have to do I guess a flipper delete really for that to be any sort of really useful choke up kind of a position there, if you will. I have two medium fingers. I'm going to get cut if I do that. But that's fine. I can easily get access up here. It's nice and flat, easy to work. Gives you a nice solid presentation. This clip doesn't dig in. There's no hot spots anywhere. I can squeeze that both left and right-handed. No problems whatsoever. So that works out really, really well. I do like that. The materials are great. Now I did put Skiff cage ceramic ball bearings in here. More and more custom knife makers do put them in there. They didn't have it when they first came in, and I got to tell you, some people get all weird about it, but if you know how to put them in and you don't over tighten it, boy, this is smooth. It's a smooth. Yeah. Now the other ones weren't bad. They were pretty good, and they're I forget what the name of the company is, but a lot of custom knife makers use them. They've got like the black resin or sort of whatever where the ceramic balls are in. But if you know Skiff is actually a phosphor bronze washer that's milled out and radiused on the inside, so when the ball pops in, it sits in there and it's just moving around that little circle. It's not going to move around. There's no room in between. It's all solid like a phosphor bronze washer, but it just happened to have the cage ceramic, the caged ceramic ball bearings in there, and it works really, really nicely. And the tolerances are phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. I think some of the new Trevor Berger knives actually have the Skiffs in there. I know Arno Bernard uses them, and there's several other people that use them. A couple other knife makers, I forgot who they are, but they are starting to use them as well. I don't want to guess because that's speculation, but I'll have to remember. But it's kind of cool because, Skiffs are really wonderful, and it's great to put them in there. And in this case, it was a no-brainer, so that was really nice. It is contoured, as you can see, ever so slightly, so it gives you a nice, good quality feel in there. All right, so the action, it closes and opens really well, flips works really well, the fuller works really well. So all that stuff is pretty nice. It is a frame lock, and the frame lock is easy to get to. It doesn't get in the way. When you get over here, you do have to get a little high, get up here, excuse me, get a little high. Oh. Normally I can do that, sorry, as I'm trying to talk and do the same thing at the same time. You get up here and it flips pretty well, right? So you just got to make sure you get up here and flip it, and that's nice. The flipper tab works really well, and you can always thumb roll it or slow roll it open if you want. It's up to you, right? So all that stuff works really, really nicely. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little measurement on this guy. This is the Mini. The larger one was significantly bigger. I never got a chance to handle it, but I heard how huge it was, and so it was not of any interest to me. So I went ahead for the Mini. And this Mini is 3.4 ounces, which is not bad. 3.4 ounces is I think pretty respectful and pretty decent. So at 3.4 ounces, we're also talking about a knife that is, let's get a measurement on here, just over 7 inches, about 7¼ inches. If you took the little lanyard loop there, your area for your gripping right here is going to be about 3½ to 3 5/8. So that works well for my large hands, and I've got pretty meaty fingers. So you may have extra large hands. If you got not as meaty fingers as me, you'll definitely have room. I think extra large, double extra large, you're going to be, kind of 3½ fingering it. So just keep that in mind. But I think there's plenty of room. You can't really choke up here unless you've got really, really skinny, like bony fingers. But, that's up to you. I wouldn't recommend it because I don't want you to get cut. My knife came out really sharp. I know some people complained their Koenig Mini Arius didn't come in sharp. Mine did. All right, so from the tip to the handle, we're looking right at 3 inches. Overall cutting length from the tip to here, we're about 2.75 inches. So 2.75 inches of cutting length, which is not bad. It is a smaller knife, and, if you're not into smaller knives, it's not for you, right? But I like the smaller knife. I like the EDC ability of this knife, and I think that's really cool. Let's measure that blade stock thickness. We are looking at 145 thousandths of an inch, so it's 0.145 inches. This is definitely a little thinner than like a Rick Hendrer, XM18 non-flipper that I have, but it's definitely thicker than those that are 0.12, 0.13 inches. So it's robust. It definitely has a good solid blade to it. This wedge right here makes you kind of look like it's a lot thinner, but it's really not. This is great. You can poke into dog food, cat food, mulch, fertilizer. litter, cases of water, boxes, Christmas boxes, birthday boxes, anniversary boxes, Amazon boxes, letters, whatever. This thing's going to work really, really nicely. It did take a little while to strop up because it is I think the heat treat is really outstanding on here, and that did take a little while. Beautiful polished edge now. Nice hollow grind, comes to a very thin edge. For as thick as it is, it does come to a nice thin slicey edge down here with that hollow grind. That is nice, and it's very smooth. Beautifully done finish on here. Satin finish going this way. It looks like a bead blasted here, but a very nice bead blasted. You know, sometimes bead blasted can be kind of ugly and real generic. This is not. This kind of has a unique, I don't know, aesthetic to it. I think it's really cool, so I like it. I like the bronze anodized screws. All that stuff is really, really, really cool for that. All right, so what category is this in? Well, this knife is definitely over $600, so you are in the custom mid-tech range for sure. This one's about $700 right here, maybe $800. I forget what the price is. You know, prices go up, things get more expensive, so you know, there's that. But this one is definitely yeah, it's definitely about $700, I think, if I last checked. But you know, if you get it on the aftermarket, it might be a little bit more. This is pretty much in demand. It's a beautiful knife. A lot of people really like it. So there you go. Is this EDC? Absolutely. I've been EDCing it and carrying it with me wherever and however. I like it. Now, I'm not going to go chopping wood, logs, wires and stuff like that. I'll have a fifth pocket or, you know, multi-tool or an axe or whatever. But I'm not going to be doing that. But this definitely works, you know, with boxes, with all sorts of stuff. And I've been absolutely doing that and enjoying doing that. So for me, that's a no-brainer, right? Is it a hard use? I guess it could be, depending on your budget, right? For me, this is not a hard use knife. This is really a higher end knife that I'm gonna, when I do carry it, which I do, I'll have a fifth pocket with me, or I'm not gonna be doing any heavy duty tasks, right? So it could be, but I would say probably not. Is it a collection piece? Oh, absolutely. It's a collection piece. For some people, it's a safe queen. For me, it's absolutely a collection piece, but it's a user collection piece. And that's why I would have a fifth pocket knife. Beautiful, beautiful knife. Love the look of this, the aesthetics. If you look at this thing, it is just simply a gorgeous, stunning knife. It has such a unique profile that speaks out Koenig, right? Koenig knives, when you look at this knife, it is just very classic. There's no question about that. Never mind the big Koenig sign on there, but quite literally, just the aesthetics alone speak of the Koenig Arius. And now the Mini Arius really, really emphasizes that as well. So to me, absolutely a collection piece, absolutely EDC, but you know, a little bit of both. Ergonomics and design, handle, thumb studs, everything. There was no thumb studs there. Thumb holes or a fuller hole work beautifully. All you have to do is get a little bit of your jimping. You can do your nails. All that stuff works really well. Both left and right-handed. You can slow roll it. The flipper works really well, and it does all this stuff left-handed as well, right? So it's really, really nice. Opening and closing is fantastic. Beautiful, nice detent. It's crisp and it drops just beautifully and butterly and butterily. I'm making up words here. Buttery, very buttery. I don't know. Butterly is, I guess, very butterly. I don't know. I'll just stop. Yeah, we'll just stop. Maybe we'll edit that out. Anyways, very buttery, very smooth, very nice. Opening and closing. Fidget factor. Well, you have a flipper, and the flipper works really, really well. You have a fuller right here that works really well, both left and right-handed. You can absolutely do the, you know, down long flip. You can do the meat of your finger flip, which is really nice. The flipper works really well, and this just deploys so nicely. No questions, right? So everything about this, I really, really, really do enjoy. And so out of that, so the fidget factor on this one, it's going to be a 6. I think it's going to be 6. It's done really, really well. Beautiful access there, just the right amount of, you know, jimping that's on here, not where you lose it all and it's going to slide off, but just enough to get a good grip for a good deployment and beautiful action as far as the cutaway and the access there. Just perfect. My fingers never going to be tired. I have fidgeted with this knife for hours and my fingers aren't tired or bruised. That's a big deal. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate that when this can be a fidget factor, fidget tool, fidget, you know, whatever tool for me as well. So that's really nice. I like that. All right. So fidgety goodness as far as all of that. It's 100%. Absolutely 100%. They executed this really well. I keep missing the flipper there because, you know, I I don't know. I think I'm putting my finger over here like I normally wouldn't, but I hold it like this, and when I do that, it works perfectly, right? So this is a beautiful knife, and I don't know why I was doing that, but I think I was over here for whatever reason. It's kind of late. I wanted to get some reviews in before I went to bed, so maybe I'm a little tired, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, the fidgety goodness is definitely 100%. I really, really like this. What are my overall thoughts? Is it recommended? Yeah, heck yeah, this is recommended. It's still in my collection. I love having it in my collection. It's a beautiful piece. It's not leaving my collection anytime soon, unless there's an emergency. It's not leaving my collection, right? So I love, love, love everything about this knife. Got a beautiful polished edge. It took me a little while to get there. I did a lot of stropping when I got it, especially when I'm in meetings. I like to strop my knives, and it's the reason why a lot of my knives are sharp, especially with the meetings. All right, so beautiful, beautiful little knife and edge there. I do like that a lot. All right, so yeah, overall, absolutely recommend. It's going to be a recommended high-end knife, recommended knife. So, hey, if you have any questions about this or thoughts on it or disagree, just let me know. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Also, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, entertaining, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? If you've already hit that like button, would you please also consider hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows the channel to grow, allows the channel to become more and do more things, and ultimately allows the channel to do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate all you guys, especially those of you who watch the videos, who like, who subscribe. Thank you. Thank you very much. And if you've already done all that, maybe hit that notification button so you can be notified of future content like this video. I would also appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, and if you haven't already, maybe check me out over on, oh, I forgot. Nope. I also want to say thank you to all my wonderful channel members out there. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. I know some of you did it as soon as the channel was able to do so, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys very, very much. I am humbled by it. I am appreciative, and it really does help the channel. Allows me to cover most of the giveaways, and that's a huge thing because I love doing this. I enjoy doing this channel, and so to me, it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys. So thank you, channel members. And if you haven't already, and you're on the edge, you're kind of thinking, maybe I'm on the fence, maybe I want to be a channel member, there is a link down below in the description. Feel free to join. I would love to have you. There's no requirement for you to be a member. Please know that. I enjoy just having you as a subscriber and talking to you, but I know some of you guys love and really want to help the channel, really want to be a part of this. And so I welcome you. And, as that, we have channel membership. And a way for me to say thank you, again, it's not I just want to make sure I communicate how grateful I am to my channel members. And a small way for me to do that is to do it once a month channel member giveaway. We just had one here for January. We'll have one in February. So just know there's membership giveaway, and there's also free stickers. If you haven't had a sticker yet, and you became a channel member, do reach out to me. I'd love to get you one. And if you're wanting to become a member and you thought, man, I want a sticker, feel free to join, become a channel member, and email me, and I'll send you a sticker. Right? I would love to have you. Just so you know that, and I appreciate you. All right, if you've done all of that, and you've heard all that, and you're good there. So you can also check me out over on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at Robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week.